March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. This year alone, 140,000 men and women will be diagnosed with colorectal cancer. 50,000 will die from the disease. So, would you recognize the symptoms if you had them? Here to tell us more, Dr. Jen Caudle, a family physician and assistant professor at the Rowan University School of Osteopathic Medicine, and her patient, Ed Yakaki, a colon cancer survivor. Thank you so much for joining us. This is something I think so many people wouldn't recognize the symptoms because you don't always do that. Ed, you were just diagnosed at 29?
Yes, 29 years old I was diagnosed, and I was persistent about getting checked out because I was having numerous issues using the bathroom, and my doctor kept on fuddling around about me getting checked out. And I'm the one that made sure to get checked out. And I got a colonoscopy done, showed that I was inflamed. So then I got a CAT scan done, and it showed that I had a 3-inch tumor in my colon.
Oh my goodness. This is something I think maybe some men are hesitant to have done. What would you say to those men and the women who are hesitant to do this?
I would say that the way I was ashamed of it at first, but then I became persistent about it because if you don't get checked out and you're having symptoms, you could save your life. So that's what I would say to men and women out there about getting checked out. Be persistent about it, be your own advocate, and if you're having issues, push to get it looked at because it will save your life.
Jen, let's talk about some of those symptoms that people should look for. If you're at home right now watching, what should you pay attention to?
Well, you know, the first thing I want to say, and first of all, Ed, I'm so glad that you're here. It's so great. And his story, I think, is so inspiring because it really does talk to people about being persistent. And you've been a patient of our practice, I think, for the last couple of years or so.
Yes.
You went through this process before then, and you've done an amazing job, and I know you're going to inspire so many people. But remember, colon cancer doesn't have to have symptoms. That's the first thing to know. That's why we like to screen for it. But if you do have symptoms, and Ed, you mentioned you had some symptoms, you know, bowel symptoms. Let's talk about what those might be. Symptoms that would make me say, hey, go get checked. If you have blood in your stool, that is something that should always be checked out. If you have stomach pains or cramps and they're persistent, if you have unexplained weight loss, or your bowel habits are different and you can't explain why, these are certainly signs to go and see your doctor and get checked out. But remember, once again, the screening that we do routinely, we recommend whether you have symptoms or not, because the point is to save lives.
What group, what age group, men, women, when do you think?
Sure. Well, so the general recommendations now is that we recommend colon cancer screening starting at the age of 50. Usually it's every 10 years, but that might be more frequent or sooner if you have a family history or you have other conditions related to yourself. Now, the American College of Gastroenterology recommends that African Americans get screened starting at the age of 45. So the biggest thing is talk with your doctor about what makes sense for you, your history, your symptoms, your family history.
And Ed, before we go, before this interview started, you were saying over there in the chair, saying why you wanted to be here, the one thing you wanted to get across. Why is it so important to you to have people get tested, to get screened?
The reason I'm on here today is to make sure that awareness goes out to the community about colon cancer, and if somebody's having problems, like I said, it'll be a lifesaver if somebody gets checked out. And that medical doctors, like my family doctor, was misdiagnosing me, and this isn't an old man's disease anymore. It's become more frequent with the younger generation, and that's why I'm on the show today, to raise awareness.
Very brave of you to share your story. Thank you very much, Ed.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Jen, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Now, if you'd like more information on colorectal cancer, screenings and symptoms, just go to our website, cbsphilly.com/talkphilly. We'll be right back.